Welcome to another meeting of TV Holics Anonymous. Quick, hit the follow button so you never miss an episode. You can also follow us on our socials too: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on whatever you're listening to this podcast on. Welcome to another meeting of TV Holics Anonymous. My name is Ruru, and I am a frickin' TV holic. So today I'm going to be doing $1 Million Secret Season 2, Killer Croquet, Episode 7. I know I've typically done these in like 3 episode like lump sums, but I am going to definitely be doing these last 3 episodes. I believe 3, or how many episodes at the end? Let me just check. These last 2 episodes by themselves. So before I get to, I just watched episode 7, so I thought I'd just talk about it right now while it's fresh in my head. So in the start of the episode, they talk about how the money is going to be transferred to a random person again. So at this point, there's only like, I believe, Kevin, Lauren, Caleb, Nick, Daisy. Who else is left? Nick, Daisy. I think that's it. Caleb, Lauren, Nick, Kat, and Daisy and Kevin. Yeah. So they're all like going into their rooms and looking for the money. Everyone's super disappointed, and then Caleb gets the money. And I thought this was interesting. And I love it when they, like last season, they did that as well. They gave it back to the person who had the million. And like, it's the person it's probably someone that you least expect it to be, the person that's already had it, because you're like, it can't be them again. So I think that's very clever of the producers of the show to do it like that, because I would definitely not suspect, if I was playing this game, the person who's already had it previously. So then we see Caleb basically go into go to talk to Peter in his study, and Caleb basically reveals that he wants to do this for his family. He wants the money for his family, and he feels like he's in a good position this time to get it, because he didn't feel like he played the game very well the first time round, but he thinks he's gained experience from watching others and from, like, hindsight, looking at what he did. He feels like he's got more, like, he's been quite introspective about it, and understands the game a bit better. Also, he reveals to Peter that he wants the money for his family because they've been living without any central heating or anything like that, and they've lived on a farmhouse for like a few generations, and he wants to do this for his wife and his kids, and he just like desperately wants the money. Whenever anyone talks to Peter, I feel like he seems very disinterested in what they have to say. I don't know if it comes across like that to anyone else, but he's just like, another sob story. Whenever, like, later on, when another person comes in the study to talk to Peter, he has the same kind of reaction. So now let's see. Okay, so basically Peter reveals that you have to do another agenda to get a kill shot. So someone will go home. If you complete this agenda, someone will go home, plus you'll get a kill shot as well. So the person that the whole group votes for together will end up going home, and then there'll also be a kill shot as well that you get to like send someone random home as well. So it'll be like a double elimination. So, Caleb agrees, and the agenda is basically to high five 2 people and miss. So at this point, like, loads of people are being suspected, like, everyone's suspecting everyone for like any little thing that they do. So it's very, very, like, nerve-wracking to do an agenda. But I think Caleb handled it really well. So they basically find out that there is a he's told that he has to do it before the end of the challenge, or I don't know what. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, the little event thing. So everyone is just like basically sitting on the lawn and they're eating their lovely, the lovely spread that they've been given on the lawn, and just suspecting each other and just like looking at the way everyone acts and stuff. So Caleb kind of like realizes he can't do the agenda right now because everyone is too like on edge and on high alert looking for any kind of suspicious behavior. And previously they did find like high-fiving people like to be, an agenda. I think they sent someone home for that. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, someone was suspected of having that as an agenda. I feel like there's a lot of people accusing other people falsely in this show of like being the millionaire, and they're like so hell-bent that they're right. And it's like really, they're very, they're very, with their decision making, they're very like they feel like it's positive in their mind, and they're very casual about it in terms of like they don't care who they like destroy in the process. They'll just be like, yeah, well, I thought it was that person, so that's why I did it. And there's like no remorse, no regret. Like they're ruining someone else's game, someone else's like plan to like, win for their families or whatever. The reason that they're there is. Okay, so yeah, then they told by Peter to like get dressed and go to meet them at the croquet field or whatever it is. And they come out dressed to the nines, and then at this point we hear Caleb in his like little confessional talking about how he loves fashion and everything because he and his wife used to own a like clothing store, or I don't know if they own it still, but he doesn't reveal this to anyone else obviously because no one's revealing anything really truly about themselves to each other because it can be used against you at any point. So then they're basically out on the lawn and they're having a croquet match, and the first two out were Lauren and Caleb. So Caleb's getting a bit worried and he's trying to just complete his agenda, and Lauren kind of not I think it was Lauren or yeah, Lauren kind of noticed that Caleb like missed the high five, and she's like, why did you miss it on purpose? Like you left me hanging on purpose. And he was like, no, I didn't. And then he kind of just dropped that, and then he got his agenda done by doing the same thing to Daisy, but Daisy didn't notice, and no one else seemed to notice, which I thought was like amazing that he played it so cool. So maybe he has learned a lot from his first experience being the millionaire. Like you can learn as long as you learn not how not to come across suspicious and stuff. So basically, this croquet thing, like I said, Lauren and Caleb were the first out, and then it is, I believe, Daisy and Nick were out, and the winners became like everyone noticed that Kat and not Nick, Kat and Kevin became really close. They ended up going into the not diary room, into the study, and they were trying to decide who's going to go in and who's not, and it ended up being that they tossed a coin and it ended up being Kat that went in, which was to the detriment of everyone else. And while they went in, the other people were talking, and they, like Lauren and Nick, Caleb, and I forgot who the other person. Lauren, Nick, Caleb, and who was the last person? Not Kevin, because Kevin and Kat were there. And Daisy. So they all decided to vote for Kevin because they found him really suspicious. So they had like this consensus going there. And they thought he was a millionaire. So then Kat went in and she basically told Peter that why she wanted the money. And she said, basically, I want the money because I want to help out my dad because he's a cancer survivor. And he also, just like had a heart surgery, and he's like, helping out my family, and I want to do it for my family and my dad, basically, so that he doesn't have to work anymore. Again, I felt like Peter was like, oh no, not another like sad story. I don't want to hear these like stories, or like he just came across like he didn't care. Like he's heard all these sad stories and it's like nothing to him anymore. That's the kind of attitude, kind of vibe that I pick up off Peter. He's like, oh, you little peasants, I don't care about you. Like, I'm a rich aristocrat and you guys are like nothing. I don't care about your sad little sob stories. In my mind, that's how I picture Peter judging everyone else. Now, back to Kat in that little room. So the clue revealed is basically that the millionaire owned a clothing store and loves fashion. So Kat thinks this is going to implicate her being the millionaire. So she doesn't want to reveal this clue, but she's pretty sure that she thinks it is what's her face? Daisy, because she was convinced while they were playing before they like played croquet, or while they were playing croquet, Kat kept talking about the bows that she had and what color the bows were, and she repeated it twice. And she is now hell bent on like trying to pin everything on Daisy. So she comes out and she comes out to talk to Kevin, and she's like, Kevin, I'm trusting you and I'm going to tell you this clue, but the clue implicates me, so that's why I don't want to, reveal it to everyone. But I'm pretty sure I know who the millionaire is. And she says, I think the millionaire is not Daisy, yeah, Daisy. She says that millionaire's Daisy, and she is like, let's make up a clue that will implicate her and Nick. So they just come up with this clue saying it's not the winners, something like it's not the winners, it's not the losers, it's like the people in between, or something like that. It's not the winners, it's not the losers. So they kind of like go outside and tell everyone, and they're like, we're not revealing who went inside to talk to Peter, which everyone automatically right off the bat found really, suspicious. I would too. It's very weird how these two were moving in this situation, and it's weird that Kevin just agreed to do that as well, because like if he had any sense, he would be like, no, we've got to just reveal this clue because we can flush out whoever it is, and we can know for sure if it is um what's her name, Daisy, or not. And if it's not you, you've got nothing to hide, so don't worry about it. He could have said something like that, or that's making me suspicious of you. Like, why would you want to hide it? So anyway, they came out, and that's what they said to everyone. So then everyone was like, what does this mean? And Caleb clocked straight away that this clue does not implicate him, so that they definitely made up the clue. But he's happy about this because, suspicion is elsewhere, so he's going along with it. And then Daisy's like having suspicions as well because it implicates her, and she's clearly not the millionaire. Now, this was like where it got really, really extra messy because everyone starts to point the finger at Daisy because Kat is going around like, poisoning everyone, telling Lauren that I know it's Daisy because I got given immunity when I went in and blah blah blah. No, she didn't tell Daisy she got immunity. Not Daisy, she got Lauren. She's telling Lauren that I know it's Daisy because she was like repeating the millionaire thing. And I thought that was so messy of Kat. Like, I don't know why she did that. It was just too much. She could have been like, when they came out, she could have been like, can everyone just tell us what you guys have done for a living and what kind of businesses you've had, or like where you've worked and stuff like that. And they could have like flushed it out that way and got the truth out of everyone. And then they could have been like, oh, okay, I see it's you, Caleb, or I see it's you, Daisy, or whatever. People who had worked in the same situations. But this way, like this like messy situation of like just hoping that it's someone because you thought it was an agenda that they were doing is very like dangerous and very, well, I guess it didn't really hurt Kat, but now it's going to hurt Kat in the end because everyone thinks that Kat's got the money going into the final four. So I think this was really stupid of her. She should have played it better. Like, she didn't really think about the end game. She just thought that I finally got the millionaire and I'm going to get that person out. It's just really irked me. Like, I just found it like really frustrating. I was happy for Caleb in the same time, but I was really irritated by the way Kat went about this. Like, and I felt frustrated and sad for Daisy and also for Nick at the same time because I definitely thought that Caleb was going to vote Nick off um at the with his kill shot. Thank God he didn't, but I didn't want Kevin to go either. I really felt like he should have just. I don't know who he could have done, yeah, but Kevin was the best option for him. I think I would have picked Kevin, or I would have picked maybe Lauren because Lauren is extremely like perceptive, and I think she's my favorite so far on the show. Like, she's just like so funny, like I said in the episode before. Like, she showed her personality, and that like she won me over with that. She's witty and funny. Anyway, so I digressed, and sorry about my stomach rumbling. So she's basically talking to Daisy now, like, because Daisy came in while Kat's talking to Daisy while she was talking to Lauren. Daisy came in, so then Lauren goes off and Kat starts to talk to Daisy, and Daisy's like, "Oh, did you make that clue up or whatever? And can you please tell me the truth, Kat? Like, who went into the diary? Not diary room. It's not Big Brother. Who went into the actual, study?" And she's like, "I can't tell you, but like I think she says it was like, I know for a fact that the clue is real." And she's like, "Okay, I believe you." That's what Daisy says to Kat, and it's kind of like, it's just like, like I had a pit in my stomach, like, because I just felt really bad for Daisy at this moment, and I felt like Kat was just like messing everything up, and it was like, so annoying. Anyway, so then Kat proceeds to tell Daisy that she has immunity because she's the one like who got immunity because she went in the study. And she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm happy for you. I know that's the truth that you're saying, that what you're saying right now about the clue. So it must be Nick." And she's like, "Yeah, it must be." So she's just playing along with Daisy. And then Kat and Lauren and everyone are just kind of like going around, like, because also Kevin now thinks that it's Daisy as well. So everyone's going around saying it's Daisy. And then other people have like suspicion on Nick as well because they're saying it could be Nick, and people are saying it could be Kevin as well because that was their consensus that they had going in, while Kat and Kevin went in. Nick, Caleb, Lauren, and Daisy decided they're going to vote for Kevin because they thought that he's most likely going to be like the millionaire. So those three names are floating around: Kevin, Nick, and Daisy. So it's like between them. So at I think it's at the dinner. Let me just have a look what's going on here. At the dinner, they kind of like decide to like lay everything out on the table, and they're like, "Yeah, it was real. Not the vote, the clue was real, and we weren't lying." And Kat's quite convincing. And then everyone votes, and they vote off Daisy. Surprise, surprise. I'm not really surprised. And Daisy is like, "Kat must have been lying to you, or they definitely made up the clue," and all that. And then Caleb has like real tears in his eyes and stuff, and he's like very convincing. But I think he's also sad at the same time. I think those perhaps were real tears because like this all happened, and he probably was close to Daisy, and like now she's been voted off. And then he had to pick a person to use his kill shot on, and he picked Kevin. Like I said, like I thought I don't know if he should have picked Kevin, but like I probably would have done the same or I would have got rid of Lauren because Lauren's quite, then you would have had two people. If he didn't get rid of Kevin, he would have had two people that he could have had the suspicion on being the millionaire, and that would have like kept him in the, clear the whole time. But this way, I think, I don't know what he was thinking, but Lauren definitely was is someone I think could win the whole thing, so I wouldn't have kept her till the end. But I don't know why he did. I think he wanted to make it obvious that it was one person being the millionaire, and now everyone thinks it's Kat. So I think that's why he did it. But Daisy was pissed when she left, and then Kevin was like, "Oh, I just love everyone here, and like, thank you guys." And like, he didn't get it that one of these people just voted him off. Like, how are you going to love all the people here at the table? One of the people at the table have just like voted you off. Like, what was his exact words? He was like shocked, and he was like, "Wow," basically. And then he was like, I think he was like trying to figure out what to say, and he just said, "I'm really shocked, and I appreciate every single person here at this table, and yeah, I really just appreciate the opportunity that I was given here." And he said that, Peter says it's your time's come to an end, and just say your goodbyes and like, check out. And I thought it was like, Kevin just revealed at the table as well that he has like his family are in like £100,000 or over £100,000 in debt, and he wants to help them because like help his parents retire and stuff like that. So everyone's got like a sad story, and like I feel like they're worthy of like the money. So far, like the final four that are left now, so it's Kat, Nick, Lauren, and Caleb. We've only really heard about Caleb's story. He's got what he said about the farm and his family, like why he wants the money. The other three, we heard Kat's story as well about her dad beating cancer, and then he had like heart surgery, and then like he's still working, and she wants to like help him retire because he's supporting the whole family still. So yeah, that's a lot. And we still have Nick's story to hear, and also Lauren's story. So there's a lot to come still. And I can't wait for the next episode. So yeah, and like I said, then he's like, "I absolutely love you guys." And he just felt like totally blindsided, and then he left. I thought it would be good if I don't know why they did this, but like I don't know why they sent off Daisy first and then Kevin. Maybe it's just to keep the secret of who the millionaire is, like before like the season ends, because I mean, not because the season ends, like they don't want any of the cast to know so they can go around like telling other people before the show airs and ruin the show. I think that's why they did that. I have a sneaking suspicion that the winner of this show could like be anyone really now, because like the last four that left they're all really good players, so I feel like they could all convince each other that they've got the money, like at the end when they have to do the swapping of the box and whatever. I think that's like going to be really, really tough. I don't know what's going to happen. So I like literally can't wait. So I'm going to watch the episode probably like right now and then talk about it tomorrow, because like it's already quite late and I'm losing my voice, as you can hear. As Kevin leaves, he also says, "I put my trust in Kat, and that's where I went wrong." And he's like, "I can't believe she told people that we made up the clue." And he's basically like walking off. And like I said, I think they should have like had them go off together, because I thought it was really harsh for Daisy, because like, she's like full of emotions and stuff. Like, you're an emotional roller coaster, and all the people that you made friends with just basically like backstabbed you. So that was hard for her. And Kevin's basically saying, I was absolutely used by Kat, and I can walk out of this chateau with my head held high. No, you can't, because you were tricked. Like, when you had power, you two were at, basically in a position of power with the clue. you could have used it in a better way, but you just were manipulated by Kat. So you can't hold your head up high because you let someone else get the better of you. And he's like, because I played my butt off in this game, I really felt like he was like an airhead in this game. Like, I don't feel like he did much in this entire show. And apart from the challenges and stuff like that, he was running around a lot for those challenges. I don't think he was manipulative enough, or like you have to be quite cunning and evil to like win this show, I think. And then you basically just like see like Kat and Caleb and everyone just talking. Like everyone looks depressed at the table, and then you see them like, trying to clock everyone's clock that it must be Kat, and everyone just feels like that was so dirty of what Kat did, like to get everyone out. And then they're just like eating their dinner, and like not eating their dinner, they're just like talking at the in the room where the fireplace is, and it's just like quite depressing. And Kat realizes she's like in a terrible, like in the worst position, and everyone thinks that it's her. And she's still like doubling down on this like kind of like lie. She's like, I've got to get the suspicion off me because I'm super suspicious now. And she's like, yeah, I got given immunity, but I don't remember Peter ever saying that she had immunity, and I don't think she had immunity. I think that's still a lie that she's like perpetuating. And I don't understand why she's just going along with this lie. It's making her look more guilty because no one's ever given immunity in this game. So that's like weird that she keeps saying that. Unless I'm mistaken, and like she was given immunity in the study, which I don't think so. So it's just it's all a bit confusing to me why she keeps going on about this immunity thing. And she's like, yeah, we gave a fake clue, and everyone's looking at her so suspiciously, and Caleb's doing a great job of not being detected, and he feels like pretty happy in his position right now. So I think he went to bed like feeling quite happy, because I can imagine if Caleb was a suspect at this point, like he'd feel really, really stressed in the final four because it would be really, really obvious. But I think he's played this so, so well, and he's had a lot of help in the situation with Kat. Kat unknowingly helped him by being so messy and crazy towards the end. So this is really good for Caleb's game. He acknowledges that too, and people still have like suspicions on Nick as well, I think, a bit. But no one really suspects Caleb at this moment, and no one suspects Lauren. And Lauren is like really pissed at Kat, and Caleb's pretending to be pissed at Kat too. So it's more than likely everyone's going to vote off Kat next, and then it's going to be, I think, a free-for-all. Nick, Caleb, and Lauren, like everyone's going to be suspicious of each other, so that's going to be crazy. And I don't know who's going to win it, but I think it's going to be between Nick, Lauren, and Caleb. That they're going to be the final three, I believe. I don't know what you all think. Let me know in the comments if you, at this point, what did you guys think? Because my, thoughts are definitely that it's going to be one of those three. So let me know, like I said, and I'll be back with the next episode. I'm going to go watch it right now. Bye. Quick, hit the follow button so you never miss an episode. You can also follow us on our socials too: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on whatever you're listening to this podcast on.